In this universe, there is our solar system, which has 8 planets. One of the 8 is Earth. This planet has an interesting feature: biology. All biological creatures on Earth share one characteristic, that is, sensitivity to its environment. That means if the environment changes, a biological creature will need to adapt to that change, or die adapting to it. Some time ago, this Earth planet was full of these for a very long time, and then some unknown global event happened. They died off. After them, humans came about. If we condense all the time from the first dinosaur to today into one single calendar year, with now being the 11th o'clock at night of the New Year's Eve, the dinosaur killing global event happened on the 20th of September, and we humans only came onto the stage today and learned the skill of writing just about 11 minutes ago using this hypothetical scale of time measurement. So now, here is the question: can we survive longer than the dinosaurs? After all, we are a very proud species, and we don't want to lose to the dinosaurs in a longevity game as a species. But who dictates whether we can sustain to the next hypothetical year, or we are going extinct in the next 100 actual years? Let's take a look at different extinction scenarios that we face and see whether there is anything we can do to increase our chance of survival. The first scenario is human civilization being invaded by aliens with superior technology, given that we are still struggling to find any trace of alien life, let alone intelligent ones. If this scenario were to really happen to us, our logic can tell us that it would be similar to humans against an ant. There is little chance that we can do anything but to hope for mercy. The next scenario also comes from outer space, but it is not an intentional move from alien intelligence. Instead, it is an asteroid that catches the Earth in the wrong place at the wrong time. These type of events are the likely cause that wiped out our long-lived predecessor, the dinosaurs. It is 100% certain that the Earth will be hit by some devastating asteroid, but we are just not 100% sure when it will be. When an asteroid with 10 km in diameter impacts the Earth, it would be enough to trigger a mass extinction event that includes humans. Even if you are not directly killed by the impact for some reason, the dust created by the impact will hover our sky for years to come, and we will not receive enough sunlight to sustain our human life with. There is not much you and me can do as normal citizens, but at the intergovernment level, there are several asteroid impact avoidance projects currently in development. These avoidance systems aim to either deflect the incoming asteroid off its orbit away from Earth, or aim to reduce the incoming velocity of the asteroid by colliding with it head-on, so that when it comes, the Earth has already moved past its orbit. Alternatively, if some of us move to another planet, say Mars, we can reduce the likelihood of multiple planets getting major asteroid impacts simultaneously, and it will give us a better chance to carry our civilization forwards in another planet. The third scenario comes from our technologies. From thousands of years of human-to-human conflicts, we have demonstrated that we are extremely capable in using our technologies as weapons to end our human enemy's life. From stones and spears to guns and powder, to today's nuclear bombs and cyber attack, our battle psychology hasn't changed. The only difference is that our capability has increased. Aside from nuclear technology, which can obviously end it once and for all, we could also go extinct if we lose control of artificial intelligence that is intellectually superior to us, or somehow created an artificial black hole that would consume our existence forever. These issues will concern not only any one country but the entire human species. Faced with these overwhelming consequences that we are also inevitable if we want to keep advancing our civilization, is there anything we can do to prevent a nuclear apocalypse or an AI takeover? The answer is no, at least not yet. Alien invasion, asteroid impact, technological dystopia. All these three scenarios that we have discussed are very overwhelming and indeed affect every human being on Earth. But for problems like these that will affect every human on Earth, our human civilization has not demonstrated that it has advanced past the point where we can team up and solve problems as one entity, where this entity would include everyone on Earth. But unfortunately, if we were to have any chance in succeeding in any one of the aforementioned global challenges, the reality is all humans on Earth will have to face those challenges as one entity, and that leads us to the fourth scenario. The fourth scenario that I want to include is a bit more urgent, less destructive, but also requiring all humans to team up in order to succeed. The fourth scenario is climate change. To be exact, human-caused climate change. With climate change, we will see more and more natural disasters more frequently. This will eventually transform our ecological landscape of the planet. Before we have the technologies today, we used to depend a lot more on environment being ecologically sufficient to supply us with a place to live, food to eat, and sceneries to enjoy ourselves with. But for today, given our ability to transform nature to our design and even cultivate food from solar energy, we are less likely to face total extinction by climate change alone, because we can replace at least some of the nature using artificial technologies. Nevertheless, if we were to lose the ecology that can supply us with basic human needs for survival and replace it with technology, those who own the technologies will be given the power to determine who will have access to what resource. In this scenario, those humans with access to premium resource will not face extinction, while others will. We can call this a semi-extinction event. Therefore, does it mean the rich won't have any benefits from solving climate change at all? The answer is no. Solving climate change is a bit more than just solving this ecological crisis that we have. In order to solve climate change, the entire human species will have to work together for the very first time by the time we make it to the other end of the climate change tunnel. We would have developed systems and knowledge that functions to benefit the entire human species as an entity. Climate change does affect all of us now, and because we do share this problem, we are forced to collaborate and include others in the solution. This fight against climate change is a good opportunity for humans to learn to work with each other. We have got used to looking at the world like this, each of us living in one of those color blocks. This climate crisis is now forcing us to look at the world like this, all of us on the same boat, and this boat is called Earth. We can actually see this crisis like a training section. Coming together as a planet is the first step of us developing into an interplanetary species. That is, if we eventually want to do this, or even more, like thousands of years ago, when wild beasts were the biggest threat to human survival, ancient human tribes decided to share their habitat and form cities to better defend wild beasts. Like a century ago, when the lack of resource was the biggest threat to human longevity, we learned to establish global trade and pool our local resources for better global efficiency. And now, this climate crisis might be the worst threatening to our overpopulated human species. Will we be able to agree to disagree and come together with our differences to work as a team to tackle this planet-scale challenge? How are we going to do that? Watching to this point, I know you sort of enjoyed what I made here. This channel will not seek to have answer for every big questions that we have, but this channel will make an effort to present things that are related to how humans can sustain ourselves amid mega challenges. For every sub to this channel, I will personally remove 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide from our atmosphere. Subscribe. I present to you another 1 kg CO2 video. Thank you.